Hello and welcome. Alright, so in this video I'll be showing us how to create a full landing page with HTML, CSS and Bootstrap, and we'll be looking at different elements from Bootstrap and putting them together to create that beautiful landing page. Okay, so we'll be looking at nav bars, carousels, we'll be looking at cards, accordings, and then we'll also look at a special CSS feature like parallax effect. Okay, so the first step is to set up, add our links, our CSS link, our JavaScript link, and then we'll also be using Google Fonts, so we'll add the link as well. Now usually I will take all this part out, just take everything out and then type HTML5. Alright, so the next thing is to link CSS. Okay, then we'll go ahead to link our Bootstrap. So go ahead to link our Bootstrap. We'll go to, I downloaded this Bootstrap, so I'll go there and copy the Bootstrap link and paste. Make sure you copy the entire thing. Copy. Alright, so the Bootstrap link goes to the head section, so we'll copy for the JavaScript also. Alright, so I've copied my CSS link. Now I want to explain something about this link. This cross origin anonymous, what it does is that it protects your page. Now let's say a fellow developer or somebody goes to the website and then wants to either manipulate it or change something. This protects your code and they cannot have access to it. Okay, so that's why this cross origin anonymous is here. Okay, so now the next thing we want to add is Google Fonts, because I don't want to use the ordinary fonts that we have been using. So you can explore different fonts from Google. Now is to search for Google Fonts. Alright, so I'll just go ahead to search for the font I'm using. It's Olio Script. Alright, so this is the font I want to use. So I'll click on Get Font. Okay, so this is the font here. So what I'll do is I'll click on Embed Code. Right, so this is the code, this one is the link. I'll copy this link I'll paste it in the head section. Okay. So this is the name of the font. So this is the name of the font family. This is the name of the font. So I'll just copy this font family. Go to my CSS. Let me just, okay, let's take this out. Okay, so I'll just keep the font here until when I need it. Okay, so that's all for setup. You link your CSS, link your Bootstrap, link your Google Fonts, and you are good to go. Okay, so we'll get started immediately. The first thing I want us to do is to create a nav bar. So for that nav bar, what we'll be doing is that we'll be making use of Bootstrap. Come to Bootstrap. So it's going to be like more of a copy and paste and edit, because Bootstrap, the nav bar have already been created. It's just for you to now copy it and edit it to the way you want it to be. So I'll come here and search for nav bar. Alright, so these are different nav bars. This one, and we are going for the first one, which is this. Just copy. And then we paste. So I didn't do anything, I only copied and paste. So if I check this, you see that we already have a nav bar. Okay, the reason why this stuff is, the font is different because of the font I use, but we can change that. So we already have this drop down nav bar. Okay, so what I will do now is I'm going to this part where it says drop down link. From this part where it says drops down, I don't want this part. Okay, so I'll just come from here, this link, just watch carefully. Even this disabled, I don't want it, so I'll just come down to this place, and the form as well, this form that says search, and then I'll remove it from here. So I copied from this drop down link down to this form, so I'm going to take it out. Okay, so let's see what we have. Right, so we only have home and link now. Okay, so I'll copy this home. This one is looking dull because it's not active. Let's add this active to this link. Yes, so now I'll copy from this list this one, copy, then I'll paste it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've pasted it 3 times. So now instead of home link here, I'm going to change it. So this is the part where you edit. So about, here I'll say contacts, then I'll say blog, and here I'll say recipe. Alright, so this is what we have: home, about, contact, blog, recipe. Okay, so this is how I want it to be. Okay, so now instead of navbar here, I want like the company's logo or icon to be here. So what we are building is like a restaurant website, but the landing page. Okay, so I'll just import files, add the pictures and that. So I'll be using this logo. I got this logo from Canvas. Let me rename it so that the name is short. Alright, so now I'm going to use this logo here where this places navbar. Instead of navbar, I'll remove this navbar and add image. Then to be logo png. Then I'll add a width. Width of, let's say, 20%. And then I also give it a height 20%. Alright, so we have the logo here and it's looking beautiful. Okay, so that's for the navbar. The next part we are going to be creating is the carousel. Alright, so welcome back. We'll be creating the carousel now. So the first part we did was the navbar. So now we'll be creating the carousel. So for the carousel, what we do is we'll still go to Bootstrap and copy it and paste, and then we'll do some editing and we'll do some stuff with CSS as well. Okay, so let's go to Bootstrap. Alright, so I'm going to pick this auto playing carousel, this one that moves by itself. Okay, so I'm going to pick that one. I'll just copy the code. And then I'll paste it here. Alright, so this is just it, don't get confused, this is just it. So what we'll be doing now is we would add the images we want to appear in this part that says image. So now this is the first container, this is the second container. Okay, all these other parts is what controls it and what makes it to like move. Okay, so this is our focus. Okay, this is the first container here, this is the second container, this is the third container. So this is our focus. So I'll be adding the pictures I'll need now. Let me import them. So I downloaded these images from Unsplash, and then I got some from Pixabay as well. Let me add this cake. Don't know, I might need it. Right, so I've selected the pictures. So I'll just go and rename them. Alright, so I'll go ahead to use the images. So now this is the first container, so I'll come here and add the image. So just say image 1. So I'll pick image 1. Image 2. Alright, so let's see what happens. Okay, so you see the images. Alright, so these images are the same sizes, that's why they are working very well. Sometimes the images might not be the same sizes, so you might even like have to resize the image or something. But for this one, the images are the same size, but I don't want it to be this much, like covering almost all the screen like this, so we can still resize it. But this is how the carousel works. So for this carousel, what I want to do is that inside this first container, this one, this is this div that closes here. Inside this div, I'm going to add something known as carousel overlay. So I can add pictures, I can add text on top of it. Okay. Alright, so I've added this class of carousel overlay. The next thing I want to do is to add a caption. I want a caption to be after those images. I want the caption to be there, so I'll add another div. Stay inside this container, I'm not outside it. So I'll say carousel. Okay, so I'll create another div, the class of carousel. Okay, so we added carousel overlay and we added carousel caption. So in this carousel caption, I'm going to be adding H2 and P text. Let's add H2 text. Alright, so I have some text written down. I used AI to generate those texts, so I'll go and copy it and paste it. Alright, so this is the text. This is the first one. I'll copy this, and let me copy the second one as well. So I'll paste it. So I'll remove this second text from inside. Alright, so this is what I was hoping to achieve. See the way the text is here, and then there is a little write-up, but we are going to push it up so that it is above and it is not like under here. Okay, of the editing, that is, we would edit the text and we will edit the carousel overlay. So let's use CSS for that. Let's give this image a class as well, or an ID. Let's give this image an ID. So I'll come here, I'll call that. So I'll call the image ID. I'll just copy it just to be sure. And I'll paste it here. So I'll give this a height. I just want to reduce the height. Alright, so you see that the image is short. It's not like the way it was long before. So I'll repeat the ID for the rest of the images. So just copy this ID. So anywhere you see image, just paste it there. So you notice that the height is now different. Alright, so the next thing we're going to edit is the carousel overlay. So this overlay that we added is just like something is on top of it, okay? So we added it to this first side. Let's add it to this second one too. That's here. And then this third one. And copy the class name. Alright, so now I'm going to give it a position absolute. I want the top to be 10%. Alright, so I'll be editing the carousel overlay. Position, absolute, top, left, then Z index. So Z index makes it to like come up above. Like this Z index 1 now is saying it should go down. It's like if it stack up something and you want it to be different position, okay? So this is it, but it's not working properly. I don't know what's happening, but let's check it. So let's add background color. So I use RGBA, say 30, 20, 10, 0, then 0.6. It's still not working. I think the position absolute I wrote seems like it's not correct. Let's check. So I'll just change the name now. Alright, so this is what I want to achieve. So I want the background color to be dark a bit, okay? So what I'll do is I'll make this image to come up. So edit for carousel caption. There is so much noise in my environment and I need to do this video, so let's just ignore the noise and then just focus on what I'm saying if you can hear me. Alright, so carousel caption. So I'm going to edit the carousel caption now. That's for this first one I created. This is the caption here. Okay, so for this carousel overlay top, let the top be 0. So it's covering perfectly now. Alright, so this text is looking very okay. Alright, so this is what I was hoping to achieve. Now for this P text, I don't want the caption to be, so I'll create another tag. Let's say for this P, I'll give it a class of carousel. Okay, let's leave it this way. I'll copy this carousel caption. Then I'll call the P. So for the P, I want the font family to be different. So I'll say font family times New Roman. Alright, so the font family for this one now is different. This is how I want it to look. It's looking okay. We can reduce the font size as well because it's let's do 18. Alright, so this is how I want it to be. It's looking very nice. Now I'll add caption for the second div, the third div. So I'll just copy this caption I created for this first one. And I'll put it in this second one. See, under the image tag. So. Alright, so you see you have the caption in these different places. So you can go ahead to edit the captions, like to change the captions. So let's do that quickly. Alright, so we have this now. Welcome to Tasty Bite, discover delicious recipe. Then we have this. Okay, so this is the carousel caption. So the next part we will be creating will be the parallax effects I spoke about. Hello, welcome back. Alright, so now we are going to be creating the other part of this. I had to break this video into sections so that I will be able to create them. So we are creating the next part, which is the about section. So I'm just going to call this a section. Let me use a tag. So this tag, we'll call it section. Okay. Alright, so in this section I will be creating the about. So I'll create the H2 text. I would say let the font weight be class F bold, text be center, then margin both top and bottom is 3. Alright, so I did something. I created a second page and added all the text so that instead of going back to my notes every time to copy those texts, I can just come here and copy it and paste. It's much easier. So these are all the text I'll be needing. So this is the about, copy. So you see it's very easy this way. Then the text. Alright, so this is the section we created about Tasty Bite text. So let's give this text a padding as well. Say 3. Alright, so this is looking better. Alright, so now we'll create another section. That section is going to be the parallax that I've been talking about. So in this section I'm going to only have a H2 text. This text to be taste the difference. Alright, so this one is more of CSS. So I will give this an ID section. I'll give this an ID, call it parallax. So I'll come here, hash, copy this. Okay. So we are going to give this a background image. Let me see the image I want to use. Okay, so I want to use this image. Let me rename it. So it's going to be image 6. So I use image 6.html. So now we'll style the image, we edit it. So the effect that brings that parallax is something we call background attachment. So we say background Alright, the image did not appear. This my taste is not correct. Oh, I said image.html. Oh my god, image6.jpg. Okay, let me correct this. Okay, so we've not added a height to the image, so I'll just add height 100 view height. Alright, so this is it. Then okay, background, not background color, background size. Justify content center. Align items. Alright, so it's looking much better. So you see the effect that we are trying to create. So as you are scrolling, you scroll before you see the picture completely. See, so that's what we call the parallax effect. Okay, so that's for the other section. So now the next section we're going to be creating is bootstrap cards. You're already familiar with this one, bootstrap cards. So we're creating the card section now. So I'll say section, give this H2, so this part will be for the part where I write the recipe. So I'll just write something like featured So this part is where I'm going to make it responsive, because I want it to be responsive both on a phone screen and on a laptop screen. So I want it to be like one card on a phone screen, but if you are looking at it on a laptop screen, I want it to be divided, like it should be 4. So what I'll be creating a row. So create a div and then create a row, then I'll give it gap 4. Okay, then inside this row I'll create columns. MD4. So I'm saying on the laptop screen it should break into 4 spaces. Don't worry, we are going to look at it, then you understand it. Then I will add my card inside here. So I'll go to Bootstrap, I'll search for cards. Okay, so I'll copy this one that has image and some text. Copy. Alright, so this is the card. I've pasted it here. So now I'm going to edit this card. So I don't want the width to be 18. Or let's see how it looks like. Okay, this is it. Alright. So in this card, I want the height to be 100. Then I want to add a shadow, so I'll say shadow. SM, small shadow. So let's add the image inside and see how it looks like. Which image should I add? Let me add this image too. Okay, so this is how the card looks like now. See how big it is. See how big it is. I want this text to be in the center. So alright, so my text is in the center. I really need space, so let's make this 5. Okay, so this is better. So what I'll do to this card now is to add padding. Alright, so I'm going to add a padding to this section because it's looking very close. So I'll add padding of 3. Now this is much better. So once I'm done with this first card, what I'll do now is I'll copy from this column. Watch carefully. I'll copy from this column down to where that column div ends. You see, not the row low. I'll copy till I have one div under. Okay, then I'll paste it again. So I'm still pasting it inside the row. So I'll paste the second card and I'll paste. So as many times as you want it to appear, but I just want 3 cards. So this is my first card, this is my second card, this is my third card. Okay, so now I can change the images and change the text. So let's do that. So it's image 2. Let's make this one image 1. Let's make this image 3. So image, this first one is a burger. So let's add the text. I'm going to add something like learn more. Alright, so what I've been trying to do is just to make sure that the text matches the image. So you can use any text you want. Yours might not even be a food website, it might be something else, okay? So this is just what I did. So let's change the color of this button because it's not looking very nice. Creating the next section, which is the accordance for the frequently asked questions. So section, I'll give this H2. Correct. So now alright, so now go to Bootstrap and copy the accordance to add. So it's like frequently asked questions. So let's see. So search for it. Accordance. audience. So I'm going to use this one that says flush. This one. I'll just copy. And then I'll paste it here. So this is how it looks like. See, if you open it, you can see the question. So you can edit this the way you want it to be. Okay, so I'll change this place where they say first icon. This is your first question. You change it. So I already have my questions here, so I'll change it. Copy. I'll copy the answer as well. I'll repeat it for the 3 questions. So just change the question and the answers. The second one. Alright, so this is how it looks like. How can I find recipe that match my diet? Use filter options. So you see, how can I adjust the serving size of a recipe? So this is accordance. It's very nice. You can always use it. So that's that for that section. So let's go to the next section. We're almost done. So this section is where we are going to add like the call to action. Maybe you want them to join a newsletter or to subscribe or to do something. Okay. So it's this use H2. Let me look for that text. Then we'll create the button. Alright, so this is it. We'll just make it to be in the center, add padding to it. Okay. Alright, so we have everything perfectly in the center of the page. So we are going to create the last part, which is like to add the location, address, number, and the rest. Alright, so I think this is much better. So let's look at the laptop mode of this. Let's look at how it looks like on a laptop. So this is how it will look like. So this is how the recipe section is going to look like. Okay, so that's what we talk about responsiveness. Alright, so we're creating like the last section now. So that part will add the location, we'll add number and address. So add locate us, make the font width bold and text center. Then we'll add the address. So you can use any address that you want to use. Then we'll go ahead to add the phone number and the email address. Alright, so once you are done with that, we add the footer. So this footer, you add your copyright to it. Just put anything you want to put, then you add the copyright symbol. You put final project at Elite Tech, or anything you want to write. My final project on Bootstrap, CSS, and HTML. Let's see how it looks like. Alright, so this is how it looks like. So we just need to add padding and then remove the underline, as the text decoration. You could do that with CSS. We put this into its own container so that we can edit it. Call it locate. Alright, so yours, you must not style exactly as I'm styling, but just make sure that it looks okay and it looks presentable. Okay, so you might decide to style it anyhow you want it, but just make sure that there is enough spacing, there is enough, yes, and it's looking very fine. That's the most important thing. Okay, so add this color to be dark. Yes. Okay, so let's change the background color to somehow secondary, BG secondary. Text light. Alright, so this looks better. So put this final project into that section as well. This footer, I'll put it inside the section. Then I'll reduce this size. I want it to be smaller. Okay, this is better. I'll reduce the size of this address and email. The size of the email and phone number so that it looks smaller. So I want to add something that can take somebody back to the front page. Remember, we are just creating a landing page and you want your user to be able to go back to the top without having to like scroll all the way back. So I'll just do something like back to the top and then link the same index.html. So this is it. So that once you click on it, it takes you back to that up part. Okay. Alright, so we are almost done. I just want to change the images at the top because it's as if I repeated the pictures and I did not even use some of the images. So we'll just change that, just change the name. This is why it's important to rename your images. Always rename your images so that it is easy for you to access it and you can just change it anytime. Okay, so this is it. I've changed the image and this looks better. Alright, so that's all. So go ahead to do your own project and show me what you've done. Okay.